there, everyone. Welcome back. I am updating the case of Madeline Kingsbury as it pertains to the state of Minnesota versus Adam Taylor Fravel, who is implicated in the unaliving of Madeline Kingsbury. I can't say the other word per YouTube guidelines, so I'm sorry if that sounds a little off or even insensitive. That's not my intention at all. Now, what I found interesting is that although the charges are of second degree M, he was allowed to be released on bail. I had to look at this and make sure I saw it right, because I saw that he didn't appear for one of his hearings. And with the charges as serious as they are, I was surprised that he was able to have a conditional release. It is what it is, I guess. We'll kind of go through and see where we left off and where we are now. So we'll go back there where, and this is dated October 2nd of 2023. And this is the warrant. Now, this was not the first time the charges were read. We know that. So this warrant was not a surprise, but maybe he has to check in per his. I don't know. Like I say, I was just surprised he was out on bail as it is. So we have here the state of Minnesota and Winona County filed in a district court in the state of Minnesota on October 2nd, 2023 at 11:07 a.m. We have a warrant. And this warrant is for M in the second degree, a second count of M in the second degree, M in the first degree while committing domestic abuse with a past pattern of domestic abuse. And then we have M in the first degree of premeditated. So we have those 4 felonies right there. And it says the indictment filed with this court establishes probable cause that the defendant committed the above. On 6/9/2023, the defendant failed to obey the order summons of the court to appear for first appearance. So that's where I would have thought that he would have remained in jail, but... And so it says, so this is a warrant for his arrest. So it says that in the name of the state of Minnesota, you are to apprehend, arrest, and bring the defendant before this court without unnecessary delay and not later than 36 hours after arrest. Okay. My problem with this is, am I looking at this correctly in that he was out on bail, was supposed to appear on 6/9. They did not put a warrant out for his arrest until October? Am I missing something? I may be, because that just doesn't seem... It doesn't seem right. But this is Minnesota. So over here we have the indictment. And this is also October 2nd of 2023, where we have this felony. We have Adam Taylor Fravel with the birth date of 1/29/1994. And it's just sad to even read that birth date, because he's a young man who should have been able to have conducted himself in a manner that he's not looking at spending his life behind bars. Maddie will never have another birthday. He was young enough, and as we know or see, this is premeditated premeditated enough that things were reaching a boiling point, and the solution was, as Maddie was making it, that she was moving out. Please, if you're in a position like this, if you're in Maddie's position, please reach out and get a safety plan. If you are a person who feels that their emotions are not under your own control, and that you may lose control and do something like this, and you do not want to take away another person's life, number one, nor have the rest of your life in prison, please keep yourself away. Do something other than this. Now, I would like to just state that the National Domestic Hotline is 1-800-799-SAFE. And you can do an online chat. You can do a video phone. The TYY number is 800-787-3224. You can also go online to www.thehotline.org. So as we see, this is M in the first degree with a past pattern of domestic abuse. And as just stated, he's looking at life imprisonment. The offense date was on or about 3/31/2023. And the charge description is on or about March 31, 2023 in Winona County, Minnesota. Adam Taylor Fravel caused the death of a human being, Madeline Jane Kingsbury, while committing domestic abuse when he has engaged in a past pattern of domestic abuse upon Madeline Jane Kingsbury or upon another family or household member, and the death occurred under circumstances manifesting an extreme indifference to human life. Count 2 states murder in the first degree with premeditation, and the maximum sentence there is life imprisonment as well. The offense date is on or about 3/31/2023. The charge description is on or about March 31 in Winona County, Minnesota. Adam Taylor Fravel caused the death of a human being with premeditation and with intent to effect the death of Madeline Jane Kingsbury or another. And then that there is murder in the second degree with intentional, without premeditation. And that is seeking the maximum sentence of 40 years. And the offense date is on or about 3/31/2023. That's on or about in Winona County, Minnesota. Adam Taylor Fravel caused the death of a human being, Madeline Jane Kingsbury, with intent to effect the death of that person or another, but without premeditation. Count 4. Murder in the second degree, unintentional, while committing a felony. Maximum sentence is 40 years imprisonment. On or about March 31, in Winona County, Minnesota, Adam Taylor Fravel caused the death of a human being, Madeline Jane Kingsbury, without intent to effect, look at the way this reads. Without intent to effect the death of any person. So it says without intent to effect the death of any person while committing or attempting to commit a felony offense other than criminal sexual conduct in the first or second degree, with force or violence or drive-by shooting. Okay. So we see here that they're looking at either 40 years or life. And to a young man in the prime of his life, just as Maddie was, this is sad all the way around. There were other choices to be made. Now, the witnesses examined before the grand jury in Winona County are listed. And there are 31 witnesses listed. They are Ethan Sense, Anita Sabata, Mackenzie Anderson, Rachel Henke, Daniel Dornick, Stephen Swenson, Dr. Rotz Zumwalt, Angela Evans, Robert Wilkinson, Colleen Meyer, Matthew Lund, Joe Murphy, Brooke Polowski, Urban Albrecht, Mary Albrecht, Alan Spalding, Timothy Steele, Kristen Neighbor, David Kingsbury, Catherine Kingsbury, Megan Kingsbury, Haley Ross, Katie Kolka, Lauren DuBois, Michaela Shaw, Holly Stamshore, Melissa Sesha, Spencer Sullivan, Claire Beyer, Joseph Swenson, and Adam Bromerick. I apologize if I mispronounced any of those names. Now, with 31 witnesses being called, that speaks to the pattern that there was. Something that was very frustrating was when Madeline was first announced that she was missing, there was nothing available to the public that this was likely a domestic violence situation gone to the extreme. There were outsiders doing everything, saying that, oh, it was somebody who wanted to unalive her because of her research at the Mayo Clinic, because she was a researcher. As we see, these people knew. And there was always a very good show of support from her family, who continues to support her. She was loved by so many. And of course, her children. So, this is a release order. And this release order was signed 10/3/2023. So what I don't understand is the way it looks is that he had a hearing in June, as we see. He did not appear. They waited 4 months to put an arrest warrant out, brought him back in, and then released him the next day. And I could be looking at this completely backwards, but that's the way that it reads to me. So if I am in error, please forgive me and let me know how this is erroneous to see this, as he failed to obey the order summons to the court to first appear on 6/9/2023. So this arrest order was 10/2, and then the release order was written again on 10/3. Now, it shows his charges, in which we just reviewed. And it says here that it is ordered that the defendant shall be released upon the following. So his release states that he has to post bail or bond with no conditions for $3 million, post bail or bond with conditions for $2 million, to remain law-abiding and of good behavior, to make and maintain contact with attorney, to keep the court and attorney informed of the current address and phone number, and notify of any changes within 3 business days. Provide verifiable address prior to release from custody, and to make all future court appearances. To obey, fail to appear warning, and no use or possession of firearms or dangerous weapons, no firearms, ammunition, or explosives, no alcohol, controlled substance use, and no use or possession of alcohol, controlled substances, or THC, except as may be prescribed, and then only in the amounts and dosages prescribed. Random testing, submit to random testing and random searches. Do not leave Minnesota without written court approval, and no contact with the alleged victims, with the family of the alleged victim, including siblings, parents, both biological and step, cousins, etc. Any contact with the children shall be governed by the family court file. Child visitation by family court order only. Comply with any and all orders regarding visitation of the children as ordered in, and it states the file number. And then it says if you violate this order, you could be arrested, your bond or bail could be forfeited, you could be charged with a new crime, or you could be held in contempt of court. The terms of this order will remain in effect until another court order changes or vacates this order. Until you are found not guilty of the criminal charges in this case, until the criminal charges against you are dismissed, or until the sentencing in this case. Your next court appearance is scheduled for December 14th at 9 o'clock for an omnibus hearing in Courtroom 1 at the Winona County Courthouse. And that is signed by the judge on 10/3/2023. Now, that was stated there. So then this one is a little bit interesting to me because this was September 20, and it says schedule a rescheduled default omnibus hearing. If he didn't appear for the hearing in June, then how was this issued, as it should have shown that a warrant for his arrest should have been issued. Nonetheless, it says you are notified of the following hearing dates. This was filed September 20. So the way that I don't know, because I guess I don't know. So then this is the discovery, and this is where we've already went through. Everything is consistent. It's just refiled, and we went through everything there. This talks about the taps, etc., that they did. And that's where we're at with this. As far as I can see, when we go through here and we look at the log for events on this case, everything looks right. And then I'm looking here, seeing where this went. Order granting motion, notice intent to seek aggravated sentencing, which we went through. Request for a continuance needing judicial approval. So that's in that 719. And then we have an order other. We have a notice of hearing. We have the warrant issued. And then we have the indictment. And that's all we have. So perhaps there's some confusion in the way the dates are or whatnot. But to me, it looks like he's out on bail. As long as he could post that 10% of that dollar amount, it looks to me like he's out on bail. So, how do you feel about that? Am I looking at these documents right? Please let me know how you feel about this, if this is correct, if there's something that I'm missing. I may be able to attend this hearing in December, and if so, I will update then, and if not, then I will just update after the hearing has posted and the judge has updated the case file. And that's everything. Thank you for listening. Thank you for continuing to keep Maddie and her family, especially her children, in your prayers. And I will look forward to speaking with you again soon. And again, that next court appearance is December 14th, 2023 at 9 a.m. Thank you. Bye-bye.